Hi guys, Adam S. here, prepped and polished, South Natick, Massachusetts. Today we're going to talk about how to study for an exam. First of all, because you've been using some of the great scheduling and note-taking features we've already been talking about, no exam should ever really take you by surprise. You should always have plenty of time to prepare for it. The more challenging the material, the more time you should give yourself to prepare for it. Learning and understanding new material takes a few stages. First comes the initial exposure. That's the first time you read about it or the first time your teacher mentions it in class. Then there's time to work with the material, actively engage your brain and start to settle it into your working memory. Then there's time to sleep, time for the material to make its way into your long-term memory, and then finally time to review. So as you can see, this takes a few stages. And the biggest point that I'm trying to make here is that most of what you can do to really be ready for an exam takes place way before the exam ever happens. Unfortunately, there are no shortcuts. The best things you can do to be ready for a test are pretty straightforward. Go to class, take good notes, do all your homework, and review those notes. If you do those thoroughly and diligently, you'll be in good shape for any exam you have. Now, assuming that you have been diligent about your schoolwork up to this point, there are a couple of specific steps you can take to really get ready for that big test. So the first thing to consider is scheduling. You want to backwards plan from the date of the exam. Usually, each section of a material that's going to be tested lends itself to being broken up into chunks, either chapters or units, some kind of section. And break up however many chapters or units you have between now and the test, and plug it into different days that you're going to be studying on. And always leave yourself a couple days at the end to review everything in total. You also want to have extra time, because remember, you don't want to cram. It takes a good night's sleep for stuff to sink its way into your brain. Teaming up can be a really useful strategy. Make study groups with your friends, assuming you guys actually study. It can be really helpful to take turns teaching each other the material. A lot of times when we explain something to someone else is when we really, take it in and start to understand it more thoroughly. Ask for help. Remember when we backward planned and made our schedule, we left ourselves a couple days before the test. This gives you ample time to go to your teacher for clarification on anything you don't understand. You shouldn't have any unanswered questions heading into the test. Finally, take good care of your body. Make sure you get a good night's sleep the night before the test. Don't cram. And make sure you eat breakfast before the test that morning so your brain has energy to work. So those are the basics of exam prep. Remember, most of what you can do comes way before the exam. It's really important that you go to class, take good notes, and do your homework. Then when the exam time comes, make a schedule, backwards plan, and leave yourself enough time that you're not stuck cramming. Gather all your materials together, reach out to friends to make study groups, ask for help, and take good care of your body. You'll be in great shape for your next test.